for this evening. And we're here to fellowship, do some fellowshipping tonight. We're here to recognize our honorees for this evening. And we are here to support a wonderful organization. And I just want to tell the founders that I came with my check, I have my check with me. So I'm lead by, my parents taught me to lead by example. So just let me know who I need to give this to. And I brought my check. And tonight we're going to continue to raise money for this wonderful cause. We're going to start, as any event program starts, we're going to set the atmosphere the right way. We're going to begin with our prayer. We're going to change up the program. We're going to be doing with our invocation from Patrice Amankwa.
Hello everyone. Would you please join me standing? I'm going to share a prayer, a litany prayer for domestic violence awareness. Just stand with me. Today we are gathered as the human race. We are called to love one another and share in one another's sorrow and joy. When violence enters one of our nation, homes, workplace, and schools, it enters our whole community. Together we are called by love to seek justice and healing. But when we turn our face from violence and deny its presence, when we prefer to trap violence behind closed doors, may love call us to repentance. When stories of violence are shared in love, may we believe our sister or brother. When pain and fear weigh down one of us, in love, may we bear the burden together. When we are afraid to speak out or ask for support, in love, may we remember our community endures all things together. We are not alone. Until we cease to witness violence in our lives, our community, and our world, in love, may we remain ever hopeful in our ability to bring justice, healing, and peace to this world. May the love of God strengthen us. May the love of this community comfort us. May the eternal promise of love embolden us to not rest until we achieve peace in our nation, homes, workplace, and schools. Amen. Amen.
I don't know if anybody else told you, but you guys look good tonight. You guys look good. This evening didn't just happen. It really took to get to this point. A leader, a founder that had a vision, that saw a need, that saw a good cause, and worked to get to this point where we had this wonderful event, this gala, this evening. And it gives me great pleasure to introduce the founder of this organization, Mrs. Teresa D.
Greetings and welcome to our second annual Gala. I'd like to tell you a little bit about the Lillian and Lillian Foundation and what it is. We are a 501c3 organization, and we focus on reduction and prevention of bullying, teen dating violence, and domestic violence. Several years ago, my sister and I, we worked for the same company. She came to my office one day and she said, if anything ever happened to me, would you raise my son? And I said to her, because we had never really had a serious conversation before, she was just so full of life, we just laughed most of the time, and I just said, going back to your office, and I noticed that she didn't move, and she had tears in her eyes. And I knew there was something to that request. So not even giving it a thought, I said yes, pretty much to get her out of my office, never thinking that I would have to fulfill the answer that I had given her. Not that it would have been a problem, but I just never thought that I would have to do what she had asked me to do. About a month later, I saw a black eye, and I asked her, what happened to your eye? And she said, silly me. I had the cabinet open, and when I lifted my head, my eye hit the cabinet door, so I have a black eye. I said, okay. About a month after that, I noticed bruises on her arm. And I asked her, well, what happened to you? And she said, silly me. I fell down the steps and I bruised my leg and my arm. And still believing that this was possible, never did I think that the person that vowed to love, honor, and cherish her abused her. Kathy was so full of life, as I said before. She just laughed at everything. I mean, she found everything funny. She had such an infectious laugh that once she started laughing, you just would laugh too, and then you have to ask her, what are we laughing about? You know, because you just, you know, and my mom, Lillian, Leach Sr., beautiful person, very warm, a confidant to many, prayer warrior for some, friend, mentor, you name it, and this is who my mom was. So one night, Lillian decided she no longer wanted to be abused, and so she left her home with her son by a previous relationship, and she moved in with my mom. And that night, her husband came home, or came to my mom's house and tried to encourage Lillian to come back home, and she refused. He not knowing that the only reason she refused is because she was seeking help for the both of them, and thought if she just didn't come home, maybe it would scare him into therapy or some kind of help so that they could go on with their marriage. But being the person that was full of rage and having that power and control over Lillian, he came to my mom's house that night while they were asleep. And he broke the door in and he killed both of them with a sawed-off shotgun. So the same person that vowed to love, honor, and cherish Lillian Leak Jr. took her life. It was the darkest night of my life. I think about them every day. Some of my children never met my mom or sister. My grandchildren never met my mom or sister. And even when things like this, awesome event tonight, I would have wanted to share it with her. But unfortunately, she is a result of us having this event. But through the pain, through the tears, through everything that I had to go through to get to this point, someone told me that you can take your pain and turn it into power. And how do you do that? I was sitting down this morning and I was thinking, you know, what can I share with you about how I turned my pain into power? And it's 4 things I'd like to leave you with. One of the things that I decided that I was not going to do is stay in grief. It doesn't mean that I don't grieve. It doesn't mean that there are days where I just long to smell her perfume or to touch her soft skin. But I vowed that I will not stay in grief. The second thing I decided to do was live life. And in living life, I'm serving God. I'm enjoying family. And I am going to be the best me that I can be. The third thing that I decided to do was honor the memory of my mom and sister through this foundation, through the writings of books, and just sharing precious memories. And lastly, I pray that through the death of my mom and sister, many will live because of what we do through the Lillian and Lillian Foundation, where love is kind. Amen. I would like to say congratulations to the honorees. Congratulations to the Lillian and Lillian Foundation's board members for this beautiful occasion. Thank you to all who are here to participate in the program, as well as those of you who came to support. I want to say thank you to my family, and I want to acknowledge a very special person here today. She is my mom's sister. We call her Aunt Gloria. Aunt Gloria, would you stand and just wave? Again, thank you all for coming and enjoy the event.
Thank you, Sister Diva, for those encouraging words. Got my little Stubble family here, and I just lost a loved one in our family, and those words were encouraging to me, so thank you for that. It's amazing how the Lord can turn tragedy into triumph, and the memory of your loved ones is living on through your great work, and so we will support you. That's why we are here tonight, to support you. I didn't say just a gala, it's a benefit gala, which means that you're raising money to continue this great work in honor of your family and your loved ones. We're going to have some music. These guys out here, they're the baddest band around. That's what they told me. Well, that's what they told me. So, and they just are fresh off of Jazz Festival in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. And so they are ready to entertain us this evening. The Philly George Project.
We actually were going for it,
It's hard to to bring some love to me here today. Father, no need to escalate. Sing. All is not the answer. For when the ladies who have been coming around with our 50-50, Barbara and Violet, we want to give a wave. They're going to be coming around throughout the evening with our 50-50. Again, we want to support this great organization, so please support our 50-50. We realize that while we prayed and set the atmosphere, we did not bless the food. So we want to bless the food that we are partaking and we will partake. So we just bow our heads for a moment. We will do that. Father God, we thank you for this evening that you've given us, Lord. Thank you for allowing us just to have the energy to come out today and the desire to support this wonderful foundation and its great work, Lord. We thank you for all that gathered here this evening, Lord, and all that this organization represents. We ask that you just bless this food that we have received and will receive. Bless the hands that prepared it and our bodies that will receive it this evening. Give us the strength to go forth and do your work. This we ask and we pray. Amen. Amen. We will now learn about the mission of this organization from Mrs. Cheryl Washington. Give her a hand.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us once again at our annual gala. This is always such a wonderful evening and event for us to celebrate, even though we're in the midst of honoring an organization that really does wonderful work for those who have been disadvantaged and abused by some kind of heinous crime. But we're grateful to all of you who are coming out to support us in this endeavor, and we hope you're going to have an enjoyable evening throughout the rest of this day. Let me just explain to you, historically, as you know, October is kind of commemorated for three things that I can remember. One is breast cancer awareness, another is Hispanic heritage, and the third one, of course, is domestic violence. And of all three of them, of course, they each have and symbolize their own significant emphasis. However, we do recognize the fact that domestic violence has its own chilling effects, if you will. And let me just kind of underscore some of the reasons why I say that, because there are some startling statistics that you may or may not be aware of, but let me just kind of give you a thumbnail sketch of what we're discussing. Nearly 20 Americans per minute are physically abused by an intimate partner. In a year, that shapes up to 10 million women and men. Pretty startling, right? In the United States alone, one woman is fatally shot by a romantic partner or spouse every 16 hours. Can you just imagine that picture? We heard Teresa illustrate what happened with her own life, with her sister and her mother. So when you hear about these kinds of historical factoids, if you will, it is really something that we need to pay more and more attention to, and that's why we're so honored to have you here, so we can take this number and hopefully move it to a situation where we can annihilate them completely. So what we're trying to discuss also this afternoon is not only is domestic violence something that's crippling our country, so is bullying. We are going to be recognizing two young brothers, the Porter brothers, this afternoon, who have demonstrated in their own inimitable way how we can take abuse and shape it into something that needs to be shown in many, many different ways, how it can be examined and hopefully forgotten in a permanent situation. Too many people, in fact, I can tell you, every single day in any school year, 160,000 students miss school daily because of bullying. When you think about that, that's pretty astounding, is it not? And when you look around and we see some kids even in our own midst, we wondered whether or not that is something that is going to affect us. Well, we're hoping that it won't. Cyberbullying has become a crippling effect. We know that social media has also catastrophed into an area where we can see that it has some devastating effects. So we want to make sure that in this month in particular that we really are going to help examine this crippling situation, and we're going to hope that every single person, one day at a time, one step at a time, will be able to minimize these numbers and make them diminish permanently. So I want to just reiterate one more important thing about our organization. I'm a very, very proud member of this board, and we have other board members who are also here. Maybe I could just get you guys to stand up alongside of me. All board members of the Lillian Foundation, please stand up for just 1 second, please, so we can recognize you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Our message is very clear, it's very simple, it's very poignant. Love is never meant to hurt, lives should not be lost, and love is kind, always. That is our mantra, that is our mission, that is our motto, and we stand by it firmly, and we hope that you will always recognize it as well. And once again, we do thank you for your presence this afternoon, and we hope that you will be able to honor our examples, as we had demonstrated earlier by Ms. Deaver, and that you will always be able to tell us in your own and in a way, if you ever see something that takes place, don't just see something, say something and do something about it as well. Thank you so much. Love is kind. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Washington. Let's enjoy our dinner. And before we do that, let's just give a hand to the wonderful staff here at the Westwood. Let's just give them a hand. Dinner, we want to announce that we're going to have a live auction this evening. We're going to be auctioning off 2 purses. And there's some information on the tables we want you to look at. Charles George is going to come around He's going to come around and show you these items so you can see what you're going to bid on this evening. And again, this is not just a gala, this is a benefit gala. This will be a mutual gain. We win this auction. We will walk away with a lovely purse as well as make a wonderful contribution to the Lillian and Lillian Foundation. So it's a win-win situation. Women, look at these wonderful purses. Husbands, it's a wonderful opportunity. It's never a wrong time to give your wife something. I guess that means I need to look at my wallet too. I do have a wife at home, so I will look at the person as well as they come around. But definitely take a wonderful look. We're going to do a live auction later this evening, and we want you to be able to take a look at the items that you're going to bid on. Continue to enjoy your dinner. In a few minutes, we're going to move into our keynote address.
I already asked the board members to stand, but I just wanted to inform you that my chair, who is the greatest chair in the whole wide world, is not feeling well, so she was not able to be with us today. Her name is Mitchell Ivy. I'd like you to just give her a hand for the place.
Master of ceremony tonight. Fantastic job. Oh yeah. So listen, you saw the bags that we brought around. Also, I think I heard Dr. Davis say this before, this is a benefit effort. And all of the funding, all of the proceeds from everything that we do here this evening goes to Lillian and Lillian Foundation. This auction that we're about to engage in right now, all of the proceeds, everything goes to make certain that we are furthering the cause. Hey, it's good to raise awareness, right? Right? But we've got to go a little bit further than that. We've got to raise some money so that we can take Lillian and Lillian Foundation not just to the next level, We're going to take it to the next dimension. All right? All right? This is the second year. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We believe in this topic. I remember when my sister, Lady Teresa, told me her story. And every time I hear it, I get so emotional. It feels as if though she's telling it to me for the very first time. I know one of her desires is to make certain that this story is told on the big screens. This story becomes a movie. And we want to help to make that happen. Tonight's a start. No, we started last year, 1 year ago. And tonight we are furthering that vision. We are making certain that that vision becomes reality. So with that said, we have one bag that was donated to us. And the person who donated it said, whatever you receive from this bag, keep it. It goes to the foundation. So here is a bag from Doni and see, listen, no, there's some folk, there's some women here. I don't have a cordless mic, or else I'd walk over to them. Yeah. So please tell me the name of this bag again. Dewey and please give me some. Okay, he's giving me some. Let it all. Give it. There we go. Come on, I'm walking. All right. Does anyone? Did you all tell me what you've heard of this bag? This brand, this name. Okay, these folk over here. And so there's a bid at table 1. Let me just show you. At your table, at every table.
Oh, yes, thank you so much.
You have these at your table? Yes. And if you're interested in bidding on any of the items that we have, all you need to do is hold up this fan. This is the pattern light to bid on an item tonight. We want you to raise this paddle, all right? So I am being asked to come over here so that this young lady can take a look at this bag. My cord was slightly down to run. All right. So this bag, there is a price on it. So why don't you read? The price for this bag that's written here from the manufacturer is $195. Would you like to make a bid on this item, this bag? If you're interested, please come take a look at it. Please come. It is very sturdy. It is certainly all leather. We have a bidder. We have an offer for $25. Table number 1, there's a bid for $30 for this bag. Once again, what's this brand name? Dooney and $50 at table 15. $75 for this bag. Remember, all proceeds are going to Lillian and Lilly Foundation to further the cause to help with this great organization. Do we have another bid? Do we have another bid? Table in the back there, table, what was that table number? Table 12. is bidding $75. Do we have a higher bid? Do you want to feel this leather? There are, what do we call those things underneath there? Those feet. Feet. It's a well-structured, well-made handbag. All right, I hear this table over here. Table 4 is talking. Perhaps they are getting their butts together as far as who will be the person who's going to take this bag. Do I hear a bid from table 4? Make a bid. The highest bid was from table 12, and that was $75. Table 6 has a bid. I'm coming back. Please, please, please. Table 6 is bidding on our bag. Tell me the name again. That name. Come on. $100 is at table 6 bidding on this bag. Do I hear another bid? Is there someone else who's interested in taking this bid home, this bag home? Is there someone else? Is there another going once? Table 6, once again, you're taking this bag for how much? $100. This bag is gone. I didn't say it's gone. It's gone to table 6. And who is the Please tell us your name.
Aaron Ross.
Karen Ross, thank you for your gift to Lillian Foundation. Would you please see Felicia? Not Tino? You see her? Wonderful. Hey, here we go. We have 2 bags that we brought around earlier. The first bag, you have information about it on the table there, which is the bag designed by Washington. The second bag is by Serena Williams. Again, this bag has a clutch inside there, and those of you, many of you who examined the bag, looked at this beautiful bag, said, wow, what a great tote this is. I can take it on the plane, I can stash it easily under my desk, work, my computer, my laptop, my tablet. It's nicely here. So, do we have a bid?
$100.
$100 is the first bid on this Serena Williams bag. Table 1 has it. $125 is the bid. Table 15 has another bid.
$175.
$175. Table 200 bid on this. She wants to take a look at it. I will count to 3, and you'll have to give it back.
Don't need to count.
1, 2. Thank you. She wants me to wait. Serena Williams, yes. There is a clutch right there inside. Our highest bidder, right? Do we see another bid?
No.
Okay. Thank you so much. Are you bidding? Tell me, what is your bid? $225. Table 6 has taken us to $225. I have not been on this side of the room. I'm coming over here first. $225. Listen, $250 is from table 7. $250 is from table 7. $250. All right, I'm coming back over there.
$260.
I'm coming. I heard them first. Over here was should I go? Okay. We are here.
$260.
Table 15, $260. Do we have another bid?
We can keep going.
$275 comes from the mayor of Clinton. All right, who else? All right, table 12 again. $300 will go to the highest bidder so far. All proceeds are going to who? You all sound so nice. Come on. To who? Yeah. Another. 3, 2, 5. Do we have a higher bid? This bid is the last. Is it the last? Going once? Is that it? 350. Watch out, table 6. It's a powerful table. Is there another table in the house that's gonna go higher than 6? Uh-oh. I thought I heard you all calling me over here. Come on. Yes, table 4. Who's got it? Come on. Get the gentleman with the ice cream. All right. The last bid for the bag was $350 was the highest. 360. All right, we're closing out this bid tonight because we have Kerry Washington waiting for us. There's no scandal here, okay? All right? 375 this bag is going for tonight. This bag is going for 400. Is there another bid tonight before we close it out? This gentleman over here on the counter, he acts like he wants to get involved in this bid. You gotta do something? Well, come on. You gotta go for yourself. The last bid that we heard was $400 for the who's the designer?
Is that the last bid?
Lillian.
Is that the last one?
Bid over here.
Let's go 425.
425.
425. Coming from table 50. Sir, tell us your name.
I'm just a servant saved by grace.
Might he be a preacher on the butt? He got one, that's for sure. What did you say? 425. Is this bag going to table 15 for 425? Is that it for tonight?
Keep going.
450. Can we get 450?
425. This bag is for this servant. Right, give him a hand. He's a true servant. That's not the name of his church. He tells me that this bag is to go to one of our honorees tonight, a well-deserving honoree, in the person of Sister Geneva Evans. Bless you. All right, quickly. Kerry Washington's bag is coming now. Listen, I did not plan this outfit, but it surely goes quite well with my colors, doesn't it? So, here we are with the Kerry Washington creation. We brought it around and you felt the beautiful suede on the inside of this bag. May I have the first bid? Did I hear $100? Table 7 bids $50 on this beautiful bag. Are there any? Table 12 bids $100. 125. What was that, table 7? Yeah. Table 7, thank you. 125. You all are quiet, and that's a good sign. You are thinking about where the next... This gentleman here is considering a bid. Do we have a bid here that is higher than 1? And that, what was that? 125. Table 12. Table 12 bids 150. Wow, thank you for that reminder. The value of that bag is $550. That's the value of this bag.
175.
175 is there at table 14. The value of this bag. But look at the value of this organization. Look, 200 is there at table 7. Here's an opportunity for you to give to this organization. And I'm accurate in saying all gifts to this organization are tax deductible. This is a 501c3 legitimate organization, a non-profit organization. On the floor now is a bid for table 7. What was that last bid? 175. Can I have a higher bid? Is there someone else that would like to take this bag home with them tonight? If you would like to see this bag, table 6, can I share this bag with you? Did you? Yeah. Wonderful, wonderful. Is that going to be it this evening? Are we closing out? This bag is way under the actual cost for the bid. The last bid was
It was 200 over there.
Table 7 was the last.
Yes. So we were 175.
175 was the last, the highest bidder. My assistant is taking this down. Are you talking? $200 from table 7. We have another bid at table 12. Okay, table 6. 200, yes. 250 is our most recent bid. Table 4, am I coming over there again? No? Okay. Thank you all who have bidded on the previous items and this one as well. We're going to close this out shortly in a few minutes. Our last bid came from which table? And that was for $250. This Kerry Washington bag tonight is going to the highest bidder.
We're taking a break.
I feel like going home. Come on, come on. This bag, the quality, the cost for this bag is $550. Can we get $100 more bid. 250 is on the floor right now. Let us,
Thank you.
let Lillian and Lillian Foundation, at least, let's get 300 for this bag. We don't want to close this out under 300 tonight. Who's with us? Who's with the organization tonight? You heard us say before, raising awareness is a good thing. Jim Collins says, what's the next step after good? Great. So let's make it a great thing. Let's go from being good to great with this cause of prevention. Is there anyone that would like to bid on this for 300? 255 is coming from table 255. Tonight, we are closing this auction out. And please tell us your name. Crystal closes our auction out tonight. Woo! Come on, put your hands together! This is yours. Thank you, Lillian. Lillian, thank you. I will get you, yes, I will make certain that your bag is there as well. Please see table 6. Yeah. If you would please see the young lady there. Yes. Hey, thank you all for your participation. Thank you for giving to our wonderful organization tonight. Dr. Davis.
I just dropped the mic in it.
Thank you all for the bids and those that definitely won. Again, it's a win-win situation. You're walking home with a beautiful bag, as well as contributing to this great organization. Pastor Diva wanted me to announce that the inaugural fundraiser was held at BMW in 2014. That was our inaugural fundraiser. Let's give BMW a hand for their we also want to thank everyone who purchased ads for the journal. I know Sister Connie, Oasis, purchased the back cover, so we want to thank her. We just won a bag, and thank you for your ad for the back cover of this journal and all who contributed through the purchase of journal ads for today. We want to move on. Our speaker for the evening, Mr. Allgood, is not here with us this evening, but we have another young man who has come with a message for today. His name is Christopher Johnson, and it's wonderful, and it gives me a great honor as I get older in years to see young people doing great things, particularly young men. And this is a young man who is not only doing great things, he started his own foundation. And again, if you have done anything like that or led any initiative, it's not an easy task to take something from an idea or a thought into fruition. And he has put together an organization called Grades for Life. He is the founder of Grades for Life, and they partner with various schools across the area, and they are an incentive program for young people to grow academically, to behave well, and to contribute to their community. And they provide incentives for young people who are excelling in those three areas. And so again, it gives me a great pleasure to introduce a wonderful young man, Mr. Christopher Johnson.
So first off, this is an amazing organization. Like you guys should all give yourself a hand for supporting. So first, I want to thank so much to the Lillian and Lillian Foundation for having me here. I'm so humbled to be here. When I was asked to first speak at today's event, my first instinct was like, me? Why? I mean, like, what type of knowledge do I have to give to little people? But the more I thought about it, I'm not here for the whole entire group. If my message can get across to just one person, then it's all worth it. So today I'm here for that one person. again, I want to apologize on behalf of my partner, Ronnie Allgood. He's a former NFL player, and he speaks at a lot of our assemblies. And he had a last-minute emergency where he couldn't make it today. So when I found out that I would be replacing him as a main speaker, I'm sure you could understand what my thoughts were. I was like, there's no way I can do this. Those are way too big shoes to fill. But, I'm sure we've all been in situations before where it came to where you go into saying, there's no way you can do it until you do it. So it came to me that's what I need to speak to you guys about today. Sometimes the limitations that we place on ourselves are more powerful than any other limitations placed upon us, and they prevent us from being who we need to be and doing what we need to do. So sometimes the best thing to do is put one foot in front of the other and let faith do the rest. So that's how I'm up here. So I'll tell you a little bit about my background. I was born and raised in New Jersey. I grew up an only child, with my mother and father. They always pushed me towards education and told me education was the key and the sky's the limit. But as a child, thinking I knew everything, I was interested in everything else. I remember staying after school late and thinking I was going to go to the NBA. But when I started going after 5'9", that probably didn't work. But I still remember that education was the key and the sky's the limit. So fast forward to today, I went to King University. I got my undergraduate there, then I went to Cincinnati College. I got my MBA from there. I got a teaching job. I worked with Verizon Wireless, and on the side I did music. I was a songwriter. I worked with different celebrities. I traveled. I did. I wrote different songs that featured on different albums. I really liked it. But one of my friends, she was working on becoming a teacher. She was telling me about some of her students and how they had no motivation, and they were running out of ideas of how to motivate some students. So she asked me, what would I do? And I'm not a teacher, so I didn't know. But I said, if it takes a village, then maybe get the community involved. So she said, okay, that sounds good. Think about that a little bit more. So I came up with an idea. I said, what if in exchange for good grades, the businesses that want business from the community, in exchange for good grades, what if they were able to give prizes and discounts so that they get repeat business and they also help the students to do better? So she said, wow, that makes a lot of sense. I was like, yeah, I guess it doesn't exist. I was like, there's no way we can do it. She was like, well, maybe it's waiting on you to do it. So with that, I started Grace for Life. So Grace for Life is a technology-based organization, and we motivate good grades and good behavior by creating an ecosystem of support and an entire community. So we focus on teaching youth that the sky is the limit, and we get the community involved in doing so to help reinforce character building, educational incentives. Our goal is that youth will think more about helping others and less about hurting others when they see how supported they are by the community. So we focus on education, anti-bullying, character building, and those are some of the things that we focus on by getting the community involved and creating a rewards program. So when I created that, I didn't know what I was doing. Sometimes it still feels like I don't know what I'm doing. But I've learned to stop putting limitations on myself and keep walking in faith and putting one foot in front of the other. So that's why I'm here, and that's what Grace for Life is all about, and helping everybody get a better grade for life. So I want to thank you guys for having me, and thank you guys.
Give Mr. Johnson another round of applause. We need to connect. Got some young people who might be able to reach my building, so we'll talk afterwards. So thank you for that. There's another young man here too, Jalen, who is at Kane now. I want you to connect with him as well, so we can assist him on his journey as he matriculates to Kane University. All right? Okay? Appreciate that. We're going to move in. I know many of you are here to support the organization, but also to recognize some phenomenal people who have done great things throughout our community. And we're going to begin to recognize our honorees. I'm going to read just something brief about each one of them. We ask that you, if you haven't done so already, please read the entire biography of all the many wonderful things that they have done. in their organizations, in their communities, in their schools. And we also want to ask each honoree to briefly share no more than 2 minutes, just to briefly share some words about themselves and just any words of thanks they want to provide the Lillian Foundation. When I first saw the first awardees, I couldn't tell by the picture if there were 2 grown men or if there were 2 young men. And when I came this evening, I saw that these were 2 young men, 7th and 8th grade boys, brothers, who realized that you don't have to be too old to make a difference. And that's something that I hope that we all can instill in our young people, our children, anyone that we know. They don't have to wait to go to college or become an adult to have an impact in this world. And these 2 young men, the Porter brothers, have learned at a very young age that at the age, the grades of 7th and 8th grade, they can make a difference, and they've begun to do that. And so we are very proud to recognize these 2 young people, the Porter brothers, who have made an impact at their high school and junior high in Pennsylvania. So Porter brothers, come on up.
Who's having the tea?
I think they have hot water. Thank you. Just the one?
Who's having the tea? Somebody else.
Put the mic in their faces.
Let's thank Lillian and the Foundation for giving us this opportunity.
Okay.
You want to take those?
Oh, sure. No.
If there are any board members that would like to take pictures with our honorees, please come at this time.
Well, no, she's asking for all honorees to come up. She's asking us to come up. She just got
We're going to share the so you guys can go next.
While the board is coming, 50-50 is still going around. We're going to close it out after
I'm excited.
We're trying to get some of this
But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited because she took the chance. So I'm trying to come. So
give the parents a hand for great work. Our second honoree, Reverend Tiffany Michelle Williams. She's the founder and chief Esther officer of the Esther Project, an empowerment operative for women and girls to discover their higher purpose in life. She leads women on an annual journey to prepare and position them to become international leaders worldwide. And one of her favorite verses is Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. Amen.
I just want to give all the glory and honor to the Lord Jesus Christ, who's the head of my life. I'm thankful for the opportunity to receive this award. I thank all the board members, my parents who are at this table. I can't see you, but if you could wave and stand up. They are certainly the ones who have inspired me to serve. I'm very blessed to have had an example of what it means to serve, and that's what I'm trying to give back in the world as well. So I also want to thank the Devers for starting this foundation. Domestic violence is an issue that's very close to my heart. I even wrote my master's thesis about strengthening domestic violence laws nationally, and I have represented battered women throughout the years, and there's nothing like holding the hand of a woman in court as she is seeking to give voice to her story and get a restraining order, which is often a first legal step for a woman to step forward out of an abusive relationship. But most of all, I just want to remind us that we have a personal responsibility in order to use the gifts and the privileges that we have to look and see who is in crisis among us and to lift them up. And I believe that's what this organization stands for, and I'm very honored to be recognized today. God bless you.
But a big ready for biblical studies skills, the ones that more control will have access to the results.
Our next honoree is Teresa Wright Johnson. Heart That Matters. Please give her a hand. She has persevered through a heart disease and has an amazing story and testimony, and we want to recognize her for her strength and courage, and we are very pleased to recognize and honor her on this evening.
Greetings all. Thank you for this opportunity. I'd like to thank Teresa, who every time I hear her story, I'm moved to tears. So to Teresa and the board, my lovely soror and friend, who's also a board member, Kimo Thomas Dennis, and I told him I was going to put him on the spot, but a fellow board member, Thomas James, who was my academy mate for the police academy for the New Jersey State Parole Board, and my director. So I had to call him out. To my husband, my parents, my sorors, my fraternity brothers, and all my family and friends who are here and that are not, I stand before you as a person who has persevered through life's adversity. As Teresa said, we have to find power in our pain. and I've made it my life to do that. This organization is very near and dear to my heart. I was bullied as a child. I was different. I was born with an illness. I had a scar in the middle of my chest that I couldn't accept for a long time. But what you all know is when we realize that we've been set apart, you take your story and you share it so that someone else can get some encouragement and some motivation so you can know that different is not bad, but it's good. And to be set apart means that you have been purposed. To all of the women who have survived domestic violence and bullying and men alike, because we know there are some cases of men too. I commend you. You're a survivor. You are meant to survive. And I will just say collectively, we all have a responsibility where we have to unite and collaborate. It takes a united effort to fight domestic violence. It takes a united effort to teach our children to be kind, that different is great. And I love the tagline for this beautiful organization, love is kind. People are not always, but love is always kind, and that's what we have to do, to inspire one another, to love one another, and accept one another. Thank you again for this wonderful honor. You can follow me on my website. I'm available to speak. Thank you so much. God bless you all.
I'm joking. It's cold. I should have won. Got that.
Our next honoree is Reginald Johnson, who's giving a hand. You can read about his many accolades and many honors. I have known him as just an amazing man that has led the NAACP and the Touch and Edison branch for many, many years. He is well known in the Central Jersey area and well deserving of recognition today. So it gives me great pleasure to recognize our next honoree.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to thank the Lillian and Lillian Foundation for this honor. I'd also like to thank my branch of the NAACP. Have them raise their hand. I give you all of my work. I give all of the praise. And I'm going to keep it that way. I'd like to also congratulate all the other honorees, and I'd like to also give a shout out to my second spiritual home, North Stelton AME Church is in the house. That's my second. When I sneak away from my church, I go to their church. But Mark Twain had wrote that there's two major events in your life. One is the day that you're born, and the second is when you find out why you were born. And why I was born, I've always been involved with civil rights, and I've been fortunate to use my career in law enforcement, first as a federal agent and then working for the prosecutor's office to run expungement programs or reentry programs for ex-cons. It's really necessary for this to take place. So again, I want to thank you very much. I will continue to do that, and have a good evening.
We're going to move on with our honorees, and Chain Miles going to play softly in the background and set the music for us. Our next honoree is Damaris Ramirez, and give her a hand. One quote I just want to read is, service is the rent we pay to be living. She's a woman of service, and so we recognize her this evening, and we're honored to have her as one of our.
Good evening, everyone. I want to thank Lillian and Lillian for bestowing on me this honor. I want to thank my family, my good sister of the heart, Mama, that's here, and my co-workers that I have when I do the domestic violence, and say that I am a survivor. And we all go through something in life, and that's our lessons that we got to share with other people. And that is my job in life and my purpose, to share my story, to let everybody know that we can make it, we can survive, and with our stories and our scars, we can teach others that we don't have to live in the dark, and we shouldn't be embarrassed of what happens to us, because as we teach somebody else, we are saving lives. I thank everybody for being here. My co-coordinator, Pastor Bernie, who helps me in the midnight hour burning the oil when we have to talk to our survivors and our victims. Thank you for everything.
And next honoree is Geneva Evans. You just read her bio. I just thought overcoming when I read that. And so, her life is chronicled from agony to grace. Revelation, her turbulent journey before reaching spiritual tranquility. And so we're glad that you reached that spiritual tranquility, and we're glad to be able to honor you on this evening.
Good evening, everyone. First, I'd like to give honor to God, who is the head of my life.
Amen.
Who knew that on October the 22nd, 2017, after being beaten 20 years, that I would be here getting an award. My life is a journey that I have gone through. From rape as a child at 9 years old, being beaten by every boyfriend, raped by the stepfather. I have overcome. I've been on this trail 20-some years fighting for these domestic violent women and children. My goal before I leave here is to open a home for the women subjected for domestic violence, a safe house. I went back to school. I started my own ministry, Just One Touch, because that's all it takes, is just one touch. And I want these women to know love is not being beaten. For 20 years, I thought it was love. But I know now it's not. God has taken me through a journey I can never, ever forget. And it's God is my witness. He's the only person that I would give all the glory to because he saved my life. He snatched me out the fire. And that's what I want to do for these women. Snatch them out the fire.
All right.
Because they don't know there is hope for their lives. You know? And a lot of times you think you can't get out, but there's a way out. Oh yes. But I just want to thank the Lillian Foundation, the Divas, my cathedral family, thank you, and Bishop Donald Hilliard Jr., who have pushed me to this journey that I'm at now, to go further in Christ, to go further to help women, to go further. I want more for you. I want more for myself. I don't have to go that route today. And I thank God for that. Thank you.
I'm right behind you. 7 o'clock. It's nice sitting there. Nice meeting you.
The next recipient is Carolyn Canavan. Give her a hand. She has served on the Domestic Violence Commission of Piscataways, an advocate for over 17 years. My mom served on that commission a number of years before she retired, so I'm very, very dear to my heart. She also has trained over 200 people over the years, and so she has been a wonderful advocate on behalf of domestic violence, not only in Piscataway, but throughout Central Jersey. So we are glad to honor you this evening.
Thank you very much. Apparently I'm the only one who came with prepared remarks. Everybody else kind of did it right from the heart, so I feel a little bad, but don't mind them reading wrong. Sorry. So thank you very much. It's an honor for me to be here. Thank you to the board. And I'm so impressed with hearing all of the other honorees that came up here before me and are coming after me. It's a story that we share because it's dear to us, or it's dear to someone that we know, or it's just dear because we are compassionate people, which is how come we all came here. When my story started, I was young, I was naive, I wasn't sure. To start in a dating violent situation, I thought it was love too, because he said it was love. So how could it not be love if he said it was love? But it turned out it wasn't love. And it took years of dating, and it took years of being married, and it took the birth of my first child for me to find somehow the strength to say no more. So now what I need to do is make sure I can share my story and my experience and my struggles. Because it didn't end when I said no more, because he wasn't done. That's when it got the hardest. So our job, in my opinion, for me, and where I need to be is I need to help educate the youth. And for those who are stuck in this cycle, we need to be their ear. We need to be their friend. We need to be their support to help them with the cycle and getting out. And when they do decide it's time to get out, we need to make sure that they get out safely, because that is the most lethal time. So we can't dismiss any of the stories that we've heard, and we can't say, hey, this was one heck of a great night. We have to take this purpose further. So thank you all very much. I appreciate you.
Women in the area of domestic violence, and she was formerly the director of the New Jersey Division of Women. Also, I was a member of the New Jersey Commission of the State of Women, Domestic Violence Fatality, the Near Fatality Review Board, and the Governor's Advisory Council Against Sexual Assault, and the Governor's Advisory Council of Domestic Violence. And so it gives us great pleasure to honor Mayor Janice Kovac.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you. And I know I'm the last one before everyone gets to do all the fun stuff. So first, I want to say thank you to the Lillian and Lillian Foundation, the board. You had me here last year, and you let me share my story, and that meant the world to me. Purple again, because we have to wear purple at all times. So to be able to be here to accept this, you know, we are the voice for those that no longer have a voice. And we are the ones that have to keep the conversation going. It should not just be the month of October. This should be an ongoing conversation every single day. And every time there's an opportunity to raise awareness and work to end domestic violence. So thank you so much for this honor.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's give all of our honorees another round of applause. Please, if you haven't done so, please read each of their bios and the great work that they have been doing. Please read those when you have an opportunity. 50-50 is going around one last time. So please, if you haven't done so, raise your hand if you would like to support 50-50. We also want to thank Chen Jen Ma. Please give him another round of applause. Beautiful music that he's been playing. When he finishes, the band has a special song, I think in honor of the mayor's hair. I think they have a special song they're going to play. The Lillian Foundation is giving out scholarships to deserving young people who are going on to college. And one thing that they have done is identify young people who exemplify the spirit of what the organization represents. Students that advocate for peace, students that represent principles such as anti-bullying, students that are leaders in their schools, in their communities, and that promote positive activity, non-violence, and we have identified a recipient this year. Mitch Ivy, who is not here, is going to present that award, but the young man is here this evening with his mother, and it's wonderful that it is a young man, because it's important to have men and young men that are promoting positive behaviors towards women, that are living out examples of what it means to treat young women the right way, and that are also on this journey to promote positivity and anti-bullying and positive responses towards women and positive treatment of women. And so for this year, we're proud to recognize a young man. I don't have something to give him right now, but I know this young man personally. He's a wonderful young man. He represents everything positive about young people today. He's a young man who's a freshman at Kane University, and we know he's going to continue to do great things, Mr. Jalen Longhorn.
Good evening. I just want to say thank you to God first and foremost. Thank you to my parents, my sister. Thank you to my church family, and just thank you for everybody who's been helping me through since I was young, through middle school. God prepared my guidance counselor, helping me out, preparing me for high school, going through that. Now I'm at college. Now I'm just trying to change my life or make it better for me.
All right.
There's no ATM nearby. Next time. And we collected $355.
That's very good.
All right, we have 964-7207. 964-7207.
Why are you standing up? There's no
Are you serious?
Come on
On behalf of the Lillian Foundation, we thank you for spending the evening with us tonight. We hope that you enjoyed yourselves, enjoyed the food, enjoyed the fellowship, and please continue to support this great foundation. Thanks to the Deaver family just for their leadership and for just putting on this evening. And thank you. Please, if you haven't done so, continue to support our vendors.